Saturday, happy Halloween. How are you? Hope you're well this morning. Welcome, this is your EA Pilates 45-minute session and it's me, Michelle, here. I'm going to wait for you guys to hop on. We are live on Instagram and Facebook this morning. Hi guys, live and hopping on Instagram. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. And just as I'm waiting for you guys, hi if you're just hopping on Facebook, as I'm just waiting for you to jump on. Equipment wise, all you need this morning is a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have a yoga mat, that's fine. Just grab a towel or something you can pop down on the floor. Make sure you've got water, and if you've got either a small cushion or if you don't have a small cushion, just a towel that you can fold up. We're going to be using that as a prop for some of the exercises this morning. So just make sure you've got those and enough room to move around on your floor. I can see you guys are hopping on. Good morning. Hi Patrick, hi Diane, hi Genesis. Morning Sarah, how are you? Nice to see you. Hi for Instagram, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, so we are going to get started. I hope you are well this morning. We're going to begin today on the floor with a little bit of mobility work for our lower back, and also we're going to open up the top of our shoulders. We're going to open up our chest, because I kind of imagine that you guys have been hunched over laptops in precarious positions this week if you've been working from home. So join me on the mat and let's get ready to practice our Saturday morning Pilates session. Okay, so we're going to begin with a seated roll down. So make sure that you're comfortable, and if you don't feel comfortable, what I want you to make sure is that your hips are level here, and you might find that popping a towel or a cushion underneath your bottom to sit on just gives you that little bit of elevation, because we're going to be doing a little bit of leg extension work here today. So I'll talk you through those as we do it, but maybe have your towel or your cushion quite close by for this first exercise. Okay, so we're sitting on our bottoms. You've got your legs just pushing away from you. I'm just going to quickly profile this to the front so you can see what I'm talking about. You'll notice here that I'm not sitting with my knees glued together. I've got my legs just naturally resting in line with my hip bones here. So we're not gluing the legs together. Pushing your feet down into the floor, we're going to have a think about the feet and the alignment of our feet with our knees, and then subsequently with our hips as well. So I want you to have a look at your knee, and your knee is going to line up just sort of about your second, your third toe for me, so that you've got that nice straight line going on. And if I was to be looking at you, your heel would be lining up with your sit bone as well. So your knees are apart and you've got your hips nice and level with each other. Now press your feet down into the floor for me. You're going to rest your arms just on the top of your legs, just on your shins for me. We're going to inhale nice and deeply in through the nose, and you're going to breathe wide so that your rib cage rises and expands a little bit. We're going to breathe really wide today. Inhale for me, exhale, and just let the shoulders release. Now this time you're going to inhale really deeply, and I want you to slide forwards as if you're just where you are, just letting your hands release down your legs. And then you're going to release and lift all the way up. Now as you lift up, I want you to drop your shoulders down away from your ears. We've got an imaginary pole down our back, and we're nice and long through the spine. And we're just taking a few forward rolls here, and then we're going to release it down. Good. Let's inhale again. Now this time, we're going to start to add a little few bits onto this. So if you feel happy to, you're going to extend your arms away from you. And as you do that, pull your shoulder blades back so that you're pulling your shoulder blades into your back for me. Inhale again, and you're just going to reach forwards. Good. And then release and come back. Very nice. Just roll forward again. So you're pulling the belly button in. Feel that lovely extension right down the lower part of your spine. And then release. Can you let your shoulders dissolve away from your ears? Good. Let's release again. Reaching forwards. And now you're going to open your arms nice and wide. Take a big circle overhead and reach your arms forward. So we're just going to warm up and mobilise your shoulders. Reaching forwards. Pull the belly button in. Exhale, slide back for me. Let your arms open. Reach all the way overhead, and then reach the arms forwards again. Scooping the belly button in, releasing and pressing down. Good. Arms are opening. Lift all the way overhead and then slide forwards. I'm going to do a couple more of those for me. So you're pushing your feet down into the floor so you're really stable in your base here. That's it, well done. Open up for me and then lift all the way overhead. Let's have a little bit of diagonal extension here. So we're going to slide forwards. This time you're going to bring one arm forwards. So you're taking a little rotation. Release, come back, open your arms and lift all the way overhead. So let's slide forwards, open the other way. Release, open the arms wide, lift all the way overhead and reach again. So shifting the weight and then we're adding that little rotation. Try pushing that hand back for me. Good. Slide it forwards, arms open nice and wide and we lift overhead. Good. Let's go again. So you're lengthening. Turn that palm. Good work. Release, open up. Let the arms open. Lift all the way overhead. Good. Do me a few more of those. And as you're working, I want you to think that your breath is just coming nice and easy. That's it. Good work. We've got just a couple more to go here so that we've done even right and left reaches. Good. Well done. Slide again for me. This is going to be your last one on each side. Let that palm turn. Very nice. Open up. Good job. And here's your last one. Sliding to the side. Let the palm release. Pull everything forwards. Open the arms. And release. Good. Just release your shoulders. Okay, we're going to stay in this position just so you're not moving about too much. And we're going to come into our next exercise, which is a half roll back. So we're going to really start to engage our abdominal muscles here. So I hope you're ready. Push your feet down into the floor and leave those legs in that same nice alignment for me. We're going to begin by just extending the arms in front of us. Now, if as you're doing this next exercise, you feel when we're adding the leg lifts that you're not able to lift your leg because of a little bit of mobility issues, you can always pop your towel underneath you, but I'll show you that as we add the exercises on. So reach your arms forwards for me. Again, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. You're going to inhale and slide back for me, as if someone's just pushing you gently back. Exhale and sit back up. Good. Inhale, slide it back for me. So as you're sliding back, you're drawing your belly button in, and then you're pushing nice and long. Good, that's it, let's go again. Slide it back for me. Good job. Morning if you're just joining us. Release and lengthen. Good. Inhale, let's slide it on back. Pull the belly button in and release. Good job. How are we doing? So as you're here, hold it there for me. Open one arm. Come back to center. Open the other arm. Come back to center and then sit yourselves up. Did you make that? Let's do it again. Inhale, slide back. Exhale, open one arm. Good. Keep that tummy pulled in. Keep the chest really lifted. And you're going to be looking forwards for me. So try not to turn your head towards the screen too much. As once you kind of know what you're doing, think about your alignment and keep looking towards the direction of your legs for me. Good. Keep going for me. How are we doing? Good. Can you start to feel those abdominal muscles engaging? Lengthen. Open up for me. Good. Release. Come on back. Open the other arm. Let that head turn as you open the arms. Good job. Now this time we're going to add a little bit more onto it. So you're going to sit back for me. You're going to lift one leg. Let it float down. Lift the other leg. Let it float down. And sit yourself back up. Now this is the part I was telling you about. If you don't feel you're able to do that without dropping your hips, I want you to keep your hips nice and level as you're lifting. Pop a towel or a cushion underneath your bottom so you've got a little bit more lift, and that will hopefully allow you to stay a little bit more balanced. Let's try that again. So you're sliding back. Now this just makes it more challenging because we're also adding in there a little bit of balance. Good. And then you're pressing back up. Amazing. So sit yourself back as if someone just punched you in the stomach, with love, obviously. Release it. Good. Push yourself back up. Amazing. Do you need 2 more of those, would you? So you're just going to slide back. Remember, use that prop if you want to underneath your bottom if you don't feel you're able to lift those legs without dropping through your hips. Good. Well done. And here's your last one. Slide it on back for me. Good. Now, can we put all of those moves together along with that opening of the arms? Remember they're the first thing that we added on this morning. Okay, let's go for it. So sit yourself back. Open up right arm. Close it in. Open the left arm. Close it in. Lift up the right leg. Let it float back down. And the left leg. Let it float back down. And then sit yourself back up. Good. Sit yourself back again. Just a little half roll down, remember? Open one arm. Slide it back. Open the other arm. Let's slide it back. Lift off. Release. Lift off. Release. And push back up. Good, you're going to do a total of 4 more of those for me. So we've got a little bit of a theme today. What we're going to be doing is adding on those single leg lifts to a variety of those core exercises that we're doing today. So just bear that in mind as we're going along. We're going to be adding maybe, or maybe not in some instances, those single alternating leg lifts. Let's keep going. Sit yourself back for me. Open nice and wide. Good. Slide the arm back in. Well done. Pull it back in, lift off one leg. Well done. And here's your last one. Good. Push yourself up. Amazing. We've got a couple more here, gang. Keep going for me. Hopefully you're still remembering about your breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Breathing wide, not shallow in your body. Good job, let's do it again. Slide yourself back. I bet you look amazing. Good. Keep going for me. Perfect. Lift that single leg. Nice work. And release it back down. Good. Let's release, stay right there. Okay, we're gonna stay sitting in this position, but we're going to come along and take our legs out. So your legs are wide for this next position. And again, I want you to think about being equally pressing through your hips in your sit bones. If you want to put something underneath your bottom, please feel free to do so. It's totally your shout. So let's flex the feet here. You're pushing strongly away. And here I want you to again think about making sure that your tummy is pulled in, your back is nice and lifted. And we're going to do a little bit of mobility work and also a little bit of work getting into your legs and also working again on that flexibility of your hips. So let's inhale and take the arms out nice and wide. As you inhale, you're going to slide around and just take a little lift. Now you're going to keep lifting up through your spine and then exhale, come back through center. Let's rotate the other way. Good, so this is just a simple saw exercise. So we're really working here on mobilizing the lower part of our backs. Good. And you'll notice as I turn that I'm pressing one hand away. So I'm sliding the palm and then the hand that I'm turning into, I'm just rotating. Good, then slide back through. So here I'm really concentrating on keeping that nice long spine so I'm not rolling and hunching forwards. I'm really lifted up through the spine here. My chest is open. I'm pushing my sit bones down into the floor and I've got that nice equal distance going on through my hips. Good job, let's do it again. Now we're going to add on to this a little bit of flexion. So you're going to stay here for me. We're going to slide the hand towards the opposite toes, release and come back up. Let's go the other way. So you're pushing away, reaching diagonally. And as you add that little diagonal reach, can you start to feel that little pull going on behind your leg in your hamstrings? Yes. Good morning, nice of you to join us. I can see people, my screen is too far away to see who it is, but I see you jumping on and saying hello. So good morning, nice to see you. I'll answer all your comments after because it's too far away. I need to put my reading glasses on and that's not a good look. I know it's Halloween, but still, we've got a boundary to go for here. Reach across for me. Nice. Can you feel that extra hamstring as you're coming across there. Good job. Release and push away. Amazing. Nice job. Let's go again. Slide and release. Good. You're nearly there. Reaching across diagonally. This is where you can really check out how your pedicure is looking today. I have to say mine's looking distinctively shoddy is a word I'd use. Shoddy. Reach across, keep that tummy pulled in, shoulders down. Nice job. Let's do one more. Good work. How are we doing? Good? You still with me? Perfect. Okay. Release and just take a little roll of your shoulders. Okay. We're going to lie down on our backs for a bridge sequence. So settle yourself down. Make sure you can see what's going on the screen. And if you want to put your towel or your cushion under your head, go ahead and do that. That's absolutely fine. I'll show you how that looks as you're lying down. So making sure that you're lying with your feet flat and your knees bent. So again, just as we were when we first started today, I'm not working with my legs together. My legs are lying directly underneath my hips. Pushing your feet down into the floor. And if I was to be looking overhead at you from a standing position, I should be able to see your knees in line with that middle toe there, your heels lining up with your sit bones. And let's just talk about our hips here and being in a nice and neutral position. So we're not pushing our back flat down towards the floor. We're not lying as if we're a piece of wood. That's not how our natural curve in our spine is. So you're just popping your hands on your hips. You're going to lift and just make sure you're rocking and rolling. I say this every single week, coming through into that nice neutral spine position. Now go ahead and just rest your arms by your side. As you're here, drop your shoulders down away from your ears. I want you to really think about creating some extra length right down your neck for me today. Okay, push your feet down into the floor, and we're just going to begin with a simple bridge lift. So your arms are resting just by your side. You're going to inhale for me and slowly begin to peel off the floor. So you're lifting the bottom away from the floor. Now as you've lifted that bottom off, you should make sure that your hips are level with each other, so you're not dropping on one side, and then you're going to slowly just release everything down. So I want you to start to visualize what's happening in your spine here as you begin to wheel that spine off the floor. So you're lifting up for me, and can you imagine your spine is just wheeling off the floor? You can feel your shoulder blades on the floor, and then you're going to lower back down. Let's do two more here, just so you get into the kind of the swing of things here. So pull up for me, you're squeezing the bottom. Good, so this exercise is really good for working, obviously mobilizing your spine, but really good for strengthening your glutes, working in your core as well. Lovely job. Let's rise again, and this time we're going to add a little bit of movement. So you're going to walk your feet out, out, in, and then we're going to lower back down. Now let's talk about that walk sequence. We're going to really lift up strongly, and we're going to keep this part of our body that I'm kind of holding onto so you can see nice and still, and I'm just literally walking my feet out, out, in, and in. Now if by doing that you start to compromise and start to drop through your hips, just stay with the glute lift and lower. So you can just stay with that bridge lift and release down. And then maybe if you're watching this again on a replay, you can start to add that leg walk in. It does make it more challenging. What I don't want you to do is add that walk in if you're compromising your form. So we're keeping lifted. We walk out, out, in, and then we slowly wheel back down. Nice job. Let's do it again. So as I lift off, I'm really pushing my feet into the floor. I'm keeping those shoulders down away from the ears. I'm keeping my hips level. So if I was to have a spirit level on my hips, it would still have that bubble in the center of the spirit level. So I want you to imagine that. Or maybe imagine you've got a tray of drinks on your belly there, and it's resting just on your hip bones. And slowly release back down. Good. Can you do me one more like that? Remember, if it doesn't feel great, you can stay just with that bridge lift and lower. So really work on what works for you today. Now this time, we're going to lift off into our bridge. Do you remember the alternating legs I was talking about earlier? We're going to lift the right leg, let it float. Lift the left leg, let it float. And then we're going to wheel the spine back down. Good, let's try that again. Wheel the spine off, nice and simple. So you're staying really lifted, really secure around that core. Remember, your core runs all the way and wraps all the way around your body. Lift one leg off, let it go. Lift the other leg, let it go. Slowly release back down. Now again, if this feels too much for you, if it feels too challenging lifting that leg off, if you feel by lifting your legs that you're compromising your form, guess what? Don't do it. Just stay with just stay with the bridge lift, and you can leave that lift completely as it is. Rise again for me. You're going to do a couple more here, and I want you to really think about keeping everything so still. Good, I'm just going to grab a quick drink. Well done, keep going for me. You guys know you can stop for water at any time, don't you? Good. I think we've known each other long enough by now that I can take a drink. Good, well done. Let's do a couple more here and we're going to move on from this exercise. Good work. Rolling yourself all the way up, keeping that tummy pulled in, remember. Lift one leg, release. Other leg lifts, release, and slowly release down. Perfect. We're going to stay in this position. So we're going to stay with a bridge, but we're going to do some different variations with our bridge today. So we're really working here on strengthening our glutes still. This time, as you lift up, we're going to also incorporate lifting the arms off the floor. So you're going to lift your arms away for me so they're reaching up overhead. And this time you're going to lift your bottom off the floor. We're going to come to that nice roll up, reach the arms overhead, bring them all the way back in, and then you're going to wheel the spine back down. Try that with me. So leave the arms lifted, squeezing and lifting all the way overhead, lengthening the arms overhead. Good. Make sure you've not just knocked a really, really expensive vase or something down off a table when you do that. Didn't think of that, did we? Lift off. I'm only saying that because I'm slapping my sofa. Good. Release. Come back up for me and release the legs down. Good. I'm going to just shimmy my way down my mat a little bit so that I'm not knocking on my sofa. Let's rise again. Lift off for me. So as you reach overhead, squeeze and lengthen. Good. Come all the way back up and then release. Very nice. Do me a couple more here, would you? Lifting and lengthening. Good. And then slowly release. Here's your last one. So really think about wheeling that spine away from the floor on those first and last phases of the exercise. Good. Here's your last one. Release it down. Perfect. Take a little release there. Bring your knees in towards you. Good job. Roll yourself up for me. And let's roll over onto our tummies. How are we doing? Still with me? Good. Okay, so this next exercise, again, we're going to really work on opening and mobilising the spine here. I've got a little bit of work for the top of your backs, and we're also going to work your glutes as well. Obviously, we're working your core. Shall we do it? Okay, lie yourself down on your tummy for me. I'm just going to move my water before I knock it over. Because let's face it, we know that's going to happen with me, don't we? Okay, so face any direction you want to, but you're going to be lying flat on your tummies for me for this next exercise. So get yourself set up. And again, if you want to put a towel or a cushion underneath your head, go ahead and do that. But for this first exercise, we're going to be working with the arms bent at 90 degrees. So a little bit like a goalpost. Lie yourself down flat for me. And we're going to start with the legs wide today. So hopefully you can see that I've got my legs kind of framing my mat. So my legs aren't in a natural neutral position. They're just a little bit wider. Okay, relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Leave your legs where they are for me. We're going to inhale. Now, as you inhale, you're going to lift off the floor for me and just peel your chest away from the floor. And as you do that, you're naturally looking forwards and slightly down. Exhale and slowly release. Now, as you lift and lower, I want you just to get into the groove of this a little bit and notice which of your muscles are engaging as you do that. So you're slowly releasing down. Inhale, peel off for me. As you do that, can you feel that you're squeezing your glutes here? I hope you can. Squeeze and release, lowering everything back down. Good. Let's do one more. Peeling away from the floor. Pull the shoulders away from the ears and slowly release back down. Well done. Let's try lifting the arms off the floor. Lift up for me. Good. Release it back down. Let the arms release back down to the floor. Nice. Inhale again. Lift off for me. Exhale, release back down. Now, as you lift off the floor, you're leaving your legs glued to the floor for me. Let's rise again. So you're pulling the shoulder blades down away from the ears. And then slowly release back down. Good. Let's do another one like this. Nice work. Now this time, I'm going to show you a little variation. So lower yourself down. Take a breather for just a moment. We're going to lift off the floor. We're going to pulse 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to lower back down. Try that with me. Lift off, squeeze the glutes, 3 little pulses. 3, 2, 1, and slowly lower back down. Good. So remember, as you're lifting, you're squeezing your glutes. Those are really engaged. And those little pulses, you should feel that starting to work right in your core for me. Pull off, little pulses, 3, 2. Can you feel that also really engaging those muscles right down in your lower back as well there for me? Good. Right again. So your entire core is working here. Pull up, little pulses, and slowly release back down. Good. Do me 2 more. How are we doing? Remember, guys, you can take a breather whenever you want to. Amazing. Nice. Morning if you're just joining us. Release back down. Okay, we're going to stay down for a moment and we're going to now add something different onto that. So bear in mind these exercises that we've just done. Morning, nice to see you. Bear in mind these exercises we've just been doing. We're going to add onto them and at the end we're going to put them all together. So it'll be like a grand extravaganza of back extensions. How good does that sound? Okay, are you ready? So we've worked with the arms resting on the floor here. Now, we're going to try peeling off the floor and lifting off. So I'm going to press my hands into the floor. So I'm coming into our swan dive. That's it. Exhale, release back down. Good. Let's try that again. Now, do you feel that you're pressing your hands into the floor here? And can you feel you're squeezing your glutes and then slowly lowering back down? Nice work. Rise again for me. Lift all the way off. Let the shoulders release away from the ears. Good. And then release back down. Perfect. Press again. Now, if this feels too much for you, you can just come back to that first move that we did where we lift the arms on the floor. I'm showing you again right now just for a recap. If it doesn't feel good for you, lifting into that full swan, then you can just stay coming up halfway, which is exactly as we began this morning with this exercise. Let's squeeze again. You're pulling yourself up. But I think this is really nice exercise. It feels really good in my body when I do this. Lovely work. Let's go again. Here's your last one. Inhale, press off the floor. Let the shoulders release. Good. Okay. We're going to stay lying down. Leave your arms where they are. If you want to put your towel or your cushion under your forehead, do so. I'm going to be working with my head lifted and that's only so that I can project my voice to you, okay? But I want you to work with your forehead down on the floor. Is that okay? Okay. So imagine that I've got my forehead down on the floor here. So as you're going to leave your upper body on the floor for me, with your head down to the floor, and you're going to lift right leg, lower it down, lift your left leg, and lower it down. Okay? So as we're lifting, we're still managing to keep those hips nice and level. Try it with me. Lift the right leg, lower it down, lift the left leg, and lower it down. Take a breather. Remember, you're working with your forehead down on the floor. Good, let's go again. Lift. Now, as you lift that leg, you're squeezing the leg behind you. And we're not worried so much about how high that leg is lifting. We're thinking about lengthening here. Good. Well done. Sorry, someone's writing a very long comment that I feel I need to respond to. Morning, Michelle. No problem. And you, Sarah. Have a lovely weekend. Nice. So lengthening along the floor here. Good. Well done. Now, release everything down for me. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to put those last few exercises together. Okay? So hopefully you can remember them, but don't worry. That's exactly what I'm here for. Lying yourself nice and long down towards the floor. Okay. Arms are resting in that goalpost. You're going to peel away from the floor for me. And you're going to lower back down. Now this time we're going to lift the hands off the floor. Make sure that you've got your legs staying wide. Lift off, pulse for me. 3, 2, 1. Now push all the way up into that swan. Leave the hands down. And then lower back down to the floor. Lift your legs. Right leg lifts. Lower down. Lift your left leg. And let's do the whole thing again. So you're peeling away from the floor, shoulders away from ears. Lower back down. Lift the arms off the floor for me. Nice, take that little pulse. 3, 2, 1. Lower back down. Push all the way up. Lifting into that swan. Spread your fingers. Lower back down. Nice work. Lift your right leg. Let it go. Lift your left leg. Let it release. Hands on the floor, just a pull up for me. Shoulders away from ears. Good. Release it back down. Lift the hands off the floor. Let them float and then pulse. 3, 2. Are you holding your breath? I hope not. Release it down. Good. Slide all the way up. Shoulders down. And slowly release. Leave the upper body where it is. Lift that right leg and release. Lift your left leg and release. Good. Let's do it again. Push yourself off. As you release, let the breath go. Well done. Lift the arms off. Little pulse. 3. So this one should feel a little bit like you're skydiving. Lower down. Pull yourself off. Press those hands into the floor. And slowly release back down. Amazing. Lift one leg off for me. Good job. Release it. Lift the other leg. Nice. Release your shoulders. How are we doing? All good? Okay. Push yourself up. Roll yourself over. Grab a drink if you want to. And let's move on to our next sequence. So we're now going to be working in a plank sequence, but we're going to do a little bit of a different one to the plank that we've done before. We're going to work in a reverse plank position. So for this I need you to begin just in a seated position. Goodness me, I can see that my dogs have obviously been playing on my yoga mat because I'm now, what you can't see is I've now got black leggings on that are covered in Labrador hair. What do you do? Okay, push your hands down into the floor for me. Now, I want you to have a look at your shoulders, making sure, just as we would do in a regular plank, your shoulders are directly lined up with your wrists. Now, all I'd like you to do is roll your shoulders down away from your ears for me. We're going to press the hands into the floor and we're going to slowly lift off and then we're going to release it down. Good. Let's try that again. So we're really working here on our full body exercise. Release and let it go. Now, if this feels a little bit too much for you in your wrists, do a couple, come out of your wrists, have a little breather, and you can get back into it again. Or imagine that we're resting and pushing our feet away from us. So push the hands down into the floor, fingertips pushing down towards the feet. Rise and roll off. Good. So you're squeezing as you're lifting and then release back down. Amazing. Let's rise again. So push strongly off the floor and imagine that I've got some string around your body and I'm lifting you up towards the ceiling and then you're slowly releasing back down. Good. Keep it going for me. You're nearly there, I promise. Release your shoulders. Nice. Let's rise again. Good job. And slowly release back down. Perfect. 2 more here. And we're going to flip this over and do some other work. Release it. Nice. Slowly let everything go. Good job. Do me 1 more and we're going to roll onto our backs. Good. Push all the way up and then release back down. Perfect. Come out of your shoulders, come out of your wrists. I don't ever do too many of those consecutively because a lot of people do find that that's a bit too much pressure on their wrists. But we're going to build on that. Okay, let's roll ourselves down and we're going to lie down strongly with the soles of the feet down towards the floor. Knees are apart naturally. You're in that nice neutral spine position. Okay, so we're going to work here on getting involved in our obliques. We haven't given them much attention this morning, but now they're not going to get left out of the party. Yay! Hurrah! Okay, are you ready? Float one leg in for me, and then float the other leg in. So our knees are over our hips, and our legs are at a right angle. Your fingertips are going to be resting just either side of your ears. Now, all we're going to do here is come across with the opposite shoulder towards the opposite knee. But what I want you to think about as you're coming across is keeping your hips level with each other, okay? So you're keeping that little spirit level on your hips, coming across towards one leg, releasing back to center. Good. Come the other way, and then come back to center. Good work. Reaching across. So as you're working, you're going to keep your elbows nice and wide. You're leading with your shoulder rather than curling across with your elbow. So keep that arm nice and wide for me all the time. Good. Well done. How are we doing? Good? Perfect. Keep it going for me. And we're going to make this a little bit more challenging. So we're going to come across single, single, and a little double pulse. So we'll go single, single, double, pulse. Try it with me. Single, good. Single, little double pulse. Remember, as you're working, you're keeping those hips level with each other. You're reaching across strongly with your shoulder rather than with your elbow. Don't forget to breathe. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Good work. Keep it going for me. We're nearly there. We're kind of on the home stretch now. You've not got long left with me. I know. Devastating as that may be for you. I know. Try and hold it together for a little bit longer. Then you can just let your grief out at the end. Good. Well done. Let's do a couple more. Nice job. Well done. So you're coming across single, single, little double crunch. Good. Try it again. Single, single, and a little double crunch. 2 more. How are we doing? Good. Well done. I see people are still hopping on. Good morning if you're just joining us. You can watch this on the rewind. Good. And release. Nice job, everyone. Well done. Bring your knees in towards your chest. We're going to start to have a little bit of a stretch, and you can get on with the rest of your Halloween preparations, whatever they may be. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Just let your legs rock gently from side to side. Glue your legs together and then drop the legs across towards one direction so the legs are glued on top of each other. Open your arms and let your shoulder blades just dissolve down into the floor. Good. Stay right there for me. Feel that really nice release right through your lower back. And then try looking away from the direction of which your legs are in. So look away from your legs, just so you're releasing that neck as well. Nice, then float the legs back up to center, one leg at a time, glue them, and then you guessed it, drop them across to the opposite side. So keep extending, keep reaching out right through those arms and letting everything lengthen along the floor. Good work, well done. Stay there for me. And then when you're ready, just slowly gather your legs in, roll yourself around, just take a little rotation in one direction with your legs, and then change direction of that rotation. Just take it a few rotations in one direction, so you're just massaging the lower part of your spine. Good. Let's do it again. My goodness me, it's absolutely started pouring with rain here where I am. It's really good when it's really pouring with rain. You're going to go and get your hair done, isn't it? Ugh, which is my next job to get done today. Okay, release your legs down for me. Relax your shoulders. When you're ready, let your legs lengthen away from you and take the arms overhead. Reaching strongly all the way through your body, reaching through your fingertips. Good, stay there for me. Nice work. Let's bring the knees in. Roll yourself up and turn to face me. How are we doing? Are you good? Perfect. Let your legs come to 90-90, so both legs are bent. Let your hands frame that front knee. Lift up all the way through your spine, and then very slowly just begin to fold forwards. So let the arms rest where it feels good. Maybe you want to be lifted, or maybe you prefer to be a little bit deeper down towards the floor. Just relax your shoulders, stay right there for me. Breathe and just let everything go. Come all the way through center, and let's do the other side. So drop the knees across to the other direction. Leave those legs bent at 90 degrees. Hands are framing that front knee. Release and softly let everything go. Relaxing your shoulders. Good job. Stay there for me. Nice. Let's release everything up. We're going to lengthen our legs in front of us. Flex your feet. I'm going to turn to the side so that you can see what's going on. If you want to put something underneath your bottom so that your hips are more level, feel free to do so. Now your feet are flexed. Lift yourself up out of your spine and softly just slide your hands down your legs. Now, I want you to feel that lovely extension down the back of your legs. If you pull your tummy in, that's going to protect your lower back. If this doesn't feel great for you, or it feels a little bit too intense, just encourage you to bend your knees to a point where you still feel that nice pull, but that it's not too painful. Stay right there for me, just release the arms. Perfect. Slowly release and rise. Roll your shoulders back and down, and then sit and turn to face me. So you're pressing your sit bones down into the floor. Just sit comfortably for me. That's it, either sitting cross-legged, take one leg out, sit comfortably, totally up to you. I want you to consciously drop your shoulders down away from your ears, so we've created some more space down our neck. Then bring your chin to your chest, and as you do that, do you feel the extension right down the back of your neck? It feels really nice, doesn't it? Because as I said earlier, we spend so much of our weeks at the moment hunched over laptops in weird positions, don't we? So let your shoulders release down away from your ears. Pull your tummy in. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale again. And release everything. Good work. Let your arms open to the side. Wrap the arms around the top of your body so you're giving yourself a hug. Roll your shoulders back and then drop your chin towards your chest. So you should feel that right down the back of your neck. Nice work. Release, lift your head, release your shoulders. Let everything release. The exciting news is that we've got a re-energize and rejuvenate month coming up. So you've got some specific Pilates and yoga sessions that have been pre-recorded for you that are going to begin from next week. So check those out on the timetable. They're going to be appearing on our social media pages. Have a fantastic Halloween, whatever it is you're doing. I wish my children were still small enough for me to be able to make them dress up. But teenage boys, I'm really not having it. So hopefully you have a great Halloween. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you, if not in the week, I will see you next Saturday, and we'll do it all again. Until then, stay safe. Much love. Bye-bye. You're welcome.